Qualtrics survey tutorial. How to create a Qualtrics survey. Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the channel. If you need to create a survey, Qualtrics is quite a important tool. It could help you quite a bit in your journey. So this is what the homepage actually looks like, and it has a few options. So first of all, the URL is right over here. So that's Q free accounts sjc1 and then .az1.qualtrics. So when you search for this URL, you can just type in Qualtrics surveys and it should be pretty much the first, or at least in the top 3 search results. So what we're going to have a look at first of all is a couple of the settings that they offer you. So on the right hand side, we can go ahead and you can see over here, there is a My Account button, and we can go here to account settings. So right over here, you see your user settings, and this is basically where you can change things like your password, your time zone, your language, and then also your default email addresses. So yes, of course, these are important settings. You can also change your login settings and you can link accounts. And then if you want to deactivate your account, there is an option right over here in the bottom. Some of the other options that they do offer you here is your account usage, and basically your account usage gives you an overview of how much you've actually done on your account, and basically they give you an overview of all of your surveys, and you can just see that right over here. You can also change the date range, so there's a from and a to end date, and it basically shows you in a graph what you're actually doing on Qualtrics. So are a few other options over here. The Qualtrics IDs basically give you an overview or give you some analytics on all of your surveys, your directories, and basically all the users on your account. And then you can also see things like your mailing lists. You can view everything over here and everything that's in your library. We're going to go now to the top left hand side and we're going to click on this logo, and it'll basically just take you back to your home page. And from this home page, you can now navigate up to the top again, and there is a main menu button. Once you tap on that, you can now view your projects, your catalogs, your directories, and you can also see your library over here. Now, going into actually creating a survey, you can see here that on this main page, all of your surveys are actually displayed over here. So if you would like to edit them, if you would like to manage them, all you need to do is go on to the right-hand side and you can tap on these 3 dots. These are project options, and now you can go ahead and you can edit, you can collaborate, activate, rename, copy the project, whatever you need to do there are a bunch of options. So on the top right hand side, there is a create project button in blue, and we're going to tap that. So right over here, you can see on this page, you can create a project. So the first thing you can see here is there is a create from scratch survey. Now this basically will allow you to go in and completely create the survey from scratch. So it gives you absolutely no template. It gives you no questions. It gives you absolutely nothing. You can create your survey absolutely from scratch. On the left-hand side, you can see that there are a bunch of categories. Basically what you see here are categories that you can select to have specific project samples within this category. So as you're scrolling down on this main page, you'll see there are sample projects. Now you can now basically choose a sample project that fits your needs. So for example, the first one says sample experience drivers analysis. So it says explore some results that surface which features have the biggest impact on outcomes. So once you tap on more details, it opens up a window on the right hand side, and now you can see what it is used for or what it is recommended to be used for, and a couple other bits and pieces of information. So if you're unsure as to which outline or which sample to use, this information on the right hand side is actually quite useful. So what we're going to do here is we are going to tap on get started, and that will take that project sample and allow you to customize it. So right over here, we can now put in a name, and I'm going to name this project 2, and then you can just tap on create project. Right over here, you can see that it has opened up the sample and it has given you a toolbar on the left hand side. Now, these are the different tools that you can use here. There's a builder, there's a survey flow. Here you can change how your survey looks and feels. And Then you can change the survey options, and right over here, the last one is translations. So as you open each one of those items up, you will have a toolbar on the left-hand side that looks like this. Now, what you're seeing here is, in actual fact, the builder. So we can now go ahead and start building our survey. So on the right-hand side, it gives you some information here, gives you some guidance. So you can now just close that window for now, and that's great. So as you can see, this is what your survey actually looks like. Now, of course, you would like to perhaps make the survey your own. You cannot obviously use this survey as is. You'd need to put in your own information to make it uniquely yours. So as you are scrolling down here, you can actually see that there's an instruction, and it gives you a bunch of information with the first page over here. So as you go down, you can see that there are a bunch of different things that they're actually giving you. So the first part then basically is an overview of what actually needs to happen in this survey. As you scroll down, you will see now there is an intro to the survey. So it says, thank you for taking the time to participate in our survey. You'll be asked about your experience with meal delivery services. Please share your honest opinions. It also gives you an idea of how long this survey would take. So first of all, let's say we want to change this survey right over here. So we can, first of all, whatever element we want to change, we can just select it, and as you can see now, the toolbar on the left side over here has now changed. You can actually just change everything about this survey on the left hand side. As we've selected this now, we can now change the text. So we can now say this is the intro, and then we can just tap anywhere else and it saves it immediately. Now, as you can see over here, I am now selecting this block, and basically what these blocks are is blocks define how many questions are on a page. So whatever is in this block, it'll be on one page. So what you can do now is, on the right hand side there are three dots. You can now add a block below. You can move your block, you can copy, lock, or delete the block. You can also collapse the question, and then you can preview the block, view it in a survey flow, and then you can also copy the block, all the questions straight to the library. Going back over here, as you tap on the block, you can now change all the elements about the block. So on the left hand side, we're going to not survey flow, but we're going to look and feel. And as you go into there, now you can change what the survey actually looks like. So on the left, you've got some themes and some layouts. So if you're going through your themes, you can see now that these are a bunch of different themes. Of course, depending on what your needs are, you would maybe change it accordingly. Then you've got your layout. And over here it says a couple things about the layout, and we can just cancel that for now. And here you can just change what the actual layout looks like. So for example, let's choose this one over here. This is the modern, and on the right hand side there is a preview of what it actually looks like. Going down then to general, now these are basics on your survey page. So your next button looks like that, and you can change it if you'd like. You'd have to go into your library, and you'd actually have to create or add logos or buttons, but for now we can just leave it like that, or you can erase it and you can type in there next if you like. The previous button, the same thing, we can just go there and we can say previous, and we can then add a progress bar. We can say with text or without text, so we can just say for now without text, and we can see now that is what your survey looks like. The progress bar we can position at the top or at the bottom. So as you can see, that is what the progress bar actually looks like over there. We can then change its position. We can also specify how many questions we want per page. We can add a header and a footer. Then going into the style, you can actually change the color. So if you see that this is not very visible, I actually had to look for it now, so we could actually just change that to maybe something a little bit more visible, something that stands out a bit more. And you can also change the default font, the foreground contrast, the question spacing, and then also the text style. The motion of your pages you can then just change as well. So you can either have a transition as a slide, a fade, or a flip. And then you can autofocus, you can switch that on. And then you can also advance or auto advance on questions. So that's basically once you have completed a question, it'll just automatically move you to the next question without you having to click on the next button. Over here, you can add a logo to each one of your blocks. So if you do have a company logo that you'd like to add there, you can add one over there. You can then also change the style of the logo and the placement and the size. Moving on to the background. So this image is actually the background of the template that we had chosen in the layout. However, we can change that if we'd like. We can also make it a color or a photo. So we can change that right over there. And it's as simple as that, just to customize what your actual survey looks like. Going back up to the builder, you can now just say yes, and we'll go back onto the builder. So this block now will look like how we changed the block in the previous menu. What you can do now is you can change the questions or the text inside each one of these blocks. So all you have to do is tap on it, and as you can see now, it's all highlighted. You can change whatever it is you like over here, and once you are done with that, you can just tap anywhere else and it will be saved as is. Going down into the question part, you can now change again the label right over here at the top. You can change the text or the question itself. You can then also change the answers that you see over here. You can remove some of the answers if you'd like, and then you can also add a question. If you go onto the right hand side over here, you can see that there is an add question button. And if you have some questions that you have created and you have stored it in your library, you can just tap on this import from library, and then it'll just appear right over here. So once you have gone down, you can now change all of the elements of your questions. You can change all of the details over here. So as you can see, we can just tap on that and you can edit the wording over there. It gives you a couple options here, so you can actually change the details. And basically, your survey is now being created, and let us presume that we have gone through all of these questions. We've added blocks, we have taken away blocks that we don't want, we've added questions, and we've changed everything that we would like to. On the right hand side, there is a publish and there is a preview. Now once you tap preview, you can see what your survey looks like, but if you want to publish it, all you have to do is tap on publish, and it gives you this little pop-up over here, and it says publishing will update the version seen by respondents. It can take up to 5 minutes to reflect changes for respondents starting new survey sessions. So you can now enter a description over here, and it also gives you an expert review. It gives you a survey strength, and it gives you some recommendations. So you can just tap on these recommendations over here, and you can maybe have that score go a little bit higher, maybe up into the green. Once you're happy with your survey, you can tap on publish over here, and then it'll be published. You then will be able to have this survey distributed to the people that you want to distribute it to. Now we're going to tap on distributions over here at the top of the screen, and it'll take you into a page where you can actually manage how you distribute your survey. So on the right hand side, you can see there is a blue button and it says distribute survey. And once you tap that, it gives you a bunch of options. So you can send it via email. You can also share it via social or a website. You can also do it via mobile or an online panel. Now, depending on how you do this, you can get a single reusable link, or you can track or generate a trackable link for each contact. You can also go ahead and compose an email, and you can then just send your survey out to whomever it is that you would like to do so with. And there you go, using Qualtrics to create a survey. It's quick, easy. I give you a bunch of templates, so it's quick and convenient for you to create. You don't have to set all the questions up. You can basically just edit the existing questions and the answers. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to leave us a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video. Cheers for now.